Call a meeting to order at 6:30. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anyone for this public forum?
So this first public forum, folks, is related to the emergency expenses for the generator and the chiller system repairs. If there's anybody who wishes to speak on that. Doesn't seem to be.
Okay. Thank you. Need a motion for the acceptance of the agenda. Kevin, second. Heidi. Any questions? All in favor? Thank you. Now we have the presentation by Nick. Hi, Nick.
I'll try to make this as brief as possible. We have a couple of repairs that have popped up over the course of the last month and a half that we should take care of as soon as possible. And I'd like to utilize repair reserve money for those. The first one has to do with our chillers out back. We installed the chillers about 2.5 years ago. We found that we have some refrigerant leaks. So there's 3 chillers on each chiller. There's 2 refrigerant circuits. So we found leaks on 5 circuits. So all but one, we found problems with leaking. One of the big issues with these leaks is we have to track them down, and we also have to figure out how much refrigerant we have to put back in. We're estimating up to 150 pounds per circuit. So that could become costly for materials, but we won't know until we actually go through the process of removing all of the refrigerant, weighing it to find out how much we lost, finding where the leaks were, and then going through the process of recharging the system. So for those 5 circuits on those 3 chillers, they originally gave us a price of around $22,000 to do that work. Being that the chillers are so new, even though they're out of warranty, we went back to the manufacturer with the help of our architects and engineers, and we asked for them to help us out a little bit with this because, it hasn't been very long since then. They've agreed to split the cost of that with us. So we're down to about $11,000 for those repairs. And like I said, we like to utilize repair reserve money for that. The other issue that we ran into that I touched on briefly last month was the bus garage generator. So we're still waiting for them to be able to source parts for that. The generator itself, the radiator has a leak in the heater core. The radiator on its own is just over $3,500. And then there's some parts and labor that goes along with that. So that repair is just over $7,000. So we'd like to be able to access repair reserve funds for that as well. That generator was original with the building, 1999. It was installed here, and then when we did the capital project back around 2009-ish time, it was moved over to the bus garage. How big is it? I don't remember how many kilowatts it is off the top of my head. It's enough to run that entire building. Well, the repair for this one is right around $7,000. I would imagine if we were to look at putting in a new one, which we may do down the line several years, we would be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Especially with the possible electrification of bus fleets and things like that, and having that redundancy. So that would be but in the meantime, I think we really need to make sure we have it online because that generator powers the bus garage, which powers all the communications equipment. So it's pretty important.
How old were the chillers? They were from our last capital project, right?
They were from our last capital project. Yeah, they're pretty much just right outside the warranty period.
So we did contact SDI Design, and his team went ahead and contacted the manufacturer, and had a little bit more clout with them, seeing they do a large number of school projects, and was able to get a 50% reduction in that cost is not indicated. So that's a
Yeah, that's good.
benefit.
It's still like 5 years.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
All set, Nick? Okay.
Okay. Motion to adjourn the meeting. Joe, second. Kevin. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, now we move on to the regular meeting. I don't have to call the meeting to order again, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so now we have this public forum. So first speaker we have is Vicky Sander. Hi, Vicky.
Am I supposed to stand up?
You don't have
I've
to.
never been to a meeting. I'm a little nervous, and my friends asked me to speak kind of on the spot. I'm here representing 78 pickleball players. And as you probably have heard, pickleball is the latest craze for the older crowd. And we have enjoyed so much playing outdoors in the summer here when the students weren't around. And at Copake Park as well. But we're looking for a winter home because it's getting kind of cold this morning. It was pretty nippy out there. And we would like to respectfully request that we be able to use some of your gym facilities when they're not in use, like in the evenings and maybe on the weekends, like twice a week. We would supply our own equipment. And basically, that's it. I mean, we heard that you used to have a program for volleyball for continuing ed. And so we would like to have some space here if it's at all possible. And I know there's a few other people here as well.
I hear it's a big craze. I've been seeing.
It's a
some
lot
that.
of fun and I have
It
met
looks like it.
such nice people. And it's really community building. And I was also thinking on the way over here, what else could I say? You know, it's always safer when there are people around public buildings, you know, in the evening and on the weekends. So if it's not being used, we'd be glad to take really wonderful care of it. And there'll be a lot of laughter in the
For
building.
like 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week?
2 days a week.
So there is a procedure that, I mean, I don't know if you're familiar, if you've contacted the school, but there is a procedure. I mean, there's, you know, insurance things, there's a whole thing to go through. But certainly you just have to apply for the,
I
time.
think, and I may be speaking out of line, that we have, I don't know whether we've applied or requested or made a phone call. But we were told that the schedule, I'm not sure, I'm paraphrasing this, that perhaps the schedule wasn't set yet. And so
but you should contact.
I'm
the school.
maybe,
Can I add on?
I would
We
like to-
tried 3 times through 3 different avenues, and we were told outright, flat out, no. We tried even before the schedule was being made, and we were told flat out, no. We've looked at the online schedule, and it looks like there's space and gaps, and considering we're not having volleyball back this year, we were hoping we could slot into their slot as well. So we were told 3 different occasions. No, through 3 different pipelines. So.
Are you done speaking? Well, only
I don't know, I could go on a long
3
time.
minutes is almost up. That's why
Okay.
I'm asking.
Well, I know this is not a world-class problem, but it's important to us because we just enjoy it so much and it's
I
great.
do understand.
It's great community building.
I totally. agree.
I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
How do you play it? What is it? I never heard of it. Help me.
So a lot of
Help me.
people,
I'm
I am a
curious.
tennis player, okay? But I play pickleball because it's so much fun. It is a shortened court. You should probably go with one of the experts. But basically, in my mind, it's a combination of ping pong and tennis.
On the
But,
floor.
and badminton. It's a smaller court. You play at the net a lot and you play with a wiffle ball. And so the ball
I
has
did that in
holes in it.
elementary school.
So it's like
2
goes
years ago.
crazy.
I remember it. We did it in the gym in the winter time.
And
I
it's
think
a-
it was that.
They say it's a lot more social than tennis because the ball is a little silly because it has these holes and sometimes it does like wackadoodle things. And so you can laugh and you're closer on the court too. So it's just much more like human contact.
Wow.
And like I said, a lot of people who are older and can't run or have injuries enjoy this sport.
I qualified.
What? What do you say? Please, we have
Sunday
78.
morning, come to the tennis court and we'll teach you.
Yeah.
Anyone
I played it
anyone in the
before. It's like
room.
riding a bike.
And this group has been great. We're all levels. Everybody is just really nice to each other, but it's also just a fun sport.
So do you use the tennis net?
No.
Well, sometimes we use the tennis net, but we have our own nets. And the pickleball net is a little shorter than a regular tennis net. But if you don't have anything, you need a tennis net, use a tennis net.
Like what we've been doing is, when we set up on the courts, we set two pickleball courts up on the tennis,
On one tennis.
on one tennis court. And actually, we were told, and hopefully this is true and will come into fruition, that we will be getting pickleball courts in the Copay,
On the Copic Town.
All right, I just want to, I'm
That's
just, wait,
Thank
I
you.
just, this is a business meeting, we just need to,
sorry,
that's okay.
I'm done.
Next up is Sydney Adam.
I just want to say ditto, and I'd like to ask every one of us who's here, just to stand up and show you how many of us came to tell you that we value it. Someday you're gonna be retired, your kids will be done with college, I hope, and you're gonna want to do something nice and enjoy this beautiful place. So we're just asking you to give us a winter home, so ditto.
And everybody's welcome.
Yeah, everybody's welcome. I mean, all of you are
We'll
welcome.
teach you right from the get-go.
You
That's how we
don't
got
have to
started.
be retired.
None of us has played more than a year. I don't think any of us has played more than a year. So we're all getting into the sport and learning. We're all up and down the age ranges. And it is a very social thing. And just in the last year, we've gotten almost 70 people to sign up on an app. And on any given Sunday morning,
Yeah.
we're out there with close to 20 people. So,
And this morning, they were out with the blowers to get the leaves off the court. They're serious. Towels when it rains.
So if we made our case, should we
Thank
go?
No, I don't, I think they adjourned.
Do we have Rob?
Hi, Rob
Oh, that's you.
Lazarus.
Okay, hi, Rob.
I just, if someone can tell us after the meeting, if you discuss it after the meeting, what our next steps may be, or if we're out of luck.
Or how we find out.
Yeah, or what we need to do. I did try and do it as continuing ed, and I was told no. So hopefully we can.
Okay, yes. I'll have some. If you, before you leave, just if you could give me your number, I'd appreciate that. Next up is Christine Costa. Where are you?
There you are.
I just want to say, after following that, now I'm going to talk about bake sale. Sorry, but Conical support staff is having a fall themed bake sale, but we will take anything you bake, we will take. It's
I missed the last one. I never even knew about it. What is it?
I'm announcing this one.
All right.
November 12th, we're gonna be setting up at 8 AM at the Hillsville IGA, and the sale will begin at 9 AM.
Okay.
And, like I said, anybody who's a baker or whatever, I'll send the information, hopefully to Neil and Sybil or whoever. Maybe you can put it on the main sites and stuff. And Mickey and Minnie Mouse will probably be there again.
That's awesome.
And also, I just put a thing in my mouth, sorry. Custodian Day was October 4th. All of us as support staff would like to thank you for giving them bagels. It was nice and it was appreciated by all of them. Thank you.
What was the big sale for?
The
It's
backpack?
Support staff.
Support staff.
What is 9 to when?
Night, whenever the last cupcake goes.
Okay.
Thanks, so you meet.
Thank you, Christine.
It could be 10 o'clock, I mean.
Next up, we have Lisa Reese. Where's Lisa?
I'm here.
There she is.
Hello. I wasn't gonna stand up, but you did, so now I have to. I can't believe it's October already, and Taconic Hills Faculty Association is busy planning for trunk or treat and powwow. And we are very excited to bring powwow back. We didn't have it, of course, because of COVID. If you guys remember, this is a fundraiser for scholarships for students at Taconic Hills. The Taconic Hills faculty and staff jointly organized what we call Batwood Day. And it was very successful. If you came to the building that day, there was a lot of blue and there was some recognition at the game. And it's just a testimony again to how much we support and we care for each other and we're just there for each other. So I wanted to mention that. I want to thank the building administrators for their obvious effort to have open communication and recognize Sandra's efforts for the planning of our PD day that's coming. If you look at the schedule that we have, it has professional, personal, and social emotional components on it. So it's a very balanced program, and we appreciate that. And we also have fun, right? And I want to thank you for joining us and helping us. And again, it was a joint effort, and when we work together, great things happen. Okay. I would also like to congratulate Linda on her tenure tonight. Yay. Congratulations. And finally, I would like to invite anyone, board members and anyone that's interested in meeting with the Faculty Association to discuss staff retention, attraction, and issues concerning education. I'll be available Monday after school. Again, that's anybody, pickleball players. All of them. Come on in, I'm on, if you need my email, it's Lisa Reese, I'm on the Tonic Hills website. Stop in after school, 4 o'clock. If another time is more convenient, let me know. Thanks.
Thanks, Lisa. Next up, we have Tom Mann. Pickleball?
Yes.
All right.
I don't think I could add much to what was said before, but I just want to encourage you to please send a message to the athletic department to try to find time to make this happen. I think that allowing pickleball to be played at your wonderful facility would be really making a very positive statement about the fact that you're a welcoming and caring community and a place where people want to live and raise their kids. I mean, you look around the United States of America now, and the pickleball it's blossoming like, wildfire. So I think that we can just get it done, and we're with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Deborah Bray.
Hi, I'm just gonna basically ditto.
Pickleball?
I moved to this beautiful community 6 years ago. I live in Prairieville, and it's been a great way for me to meet people in the community, whether it's Hillsdale or Copake, Prairieville, Hillsdale, and I've just really enjoyed it. I think this is a beautiful facility. Everyone who comes to visit, they admire everything that's offered here. I know people who use the pool and swim and take other classes. So it would just be a great benefit for us to continue to do indoor pickleball here. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have, I need a motion for the acceptance of the agenda. Molly, second. Diane. So I do want you to, right after the superintendent report, I'm going to add board activity report. That's something that I wanted to do so that we could all report on what we've been doing on the campus each month. So we're going to add that right after the superintendent report. Going into the consensus agenda, on C, 4C, the non-competitive civil service probationary appointment for Jennifer Hadley Thomas. Just the dates are changed. So instead of 10/19, it's 10/24, 2022, and to 10/23, 2023. Just for there. So did I say that right? And I think that's the only change to that. Yeah. I just want to make note on that. Before we, any questions on the agenda? All in favor? Thank you. Okay, now I need a motion for the acceptance of the consensus agenda. Alicia, Bill, second. All right, we'll go through that. So we have retirement, we have Joseph Gursky, bus driver. He's been here 11 and a half years, so we want to wish him well. Made that one change with you, and as Lisa mentioned, we have a tenure, right?
Yes. Right. Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
Linda Hopkins, science. Congratulations, Linda.
I would like to say thank you, guys. It's been 7.5, almost now going into 8.5 years that I've been working here. The half is because I was half-time for 3.5 years and the full-time for 3.5 years. So it all kind of added up. And I want to say thank you for continually giving me the opportunity. I'm glad we all stuck with it and made it happen. I love teaching the science research course. You can see, those of you who aren't always here, the presentations out on the walls out there. That's
Yeah, they're
Taconic Hills
great.
High School students who completed that research. They are doing great work, and it's trickling out to the rest of the kids in terms of what kids think is possible for their own selves. So I
That's
just
good.
wanted to thank you guys for this giving me the opportunity.
Thanks,
It's a joy to
Linda.
work.
All you pickleball players, you should check out this.
Yeah,
science
please.
research.
Right out here, on the way out. Take a
They
look
are
at them.
phenomenal.
It's
You'll
pretty
be
amazing.
very, very.
And we have our symposium on the Tuesday after Memorial Day at 6 o'clock. So come back and hear what the kids are researching.
Very impressive.
Are you any of the pickleball people former educators? or
Oh,
current?
I'm a former scientist.
On site?
Wow.
One of our group is, she's just not here. She's a former
Yeah.
teacher.
Yeah, he raised his hand. He's just quiet over there.
Physics teacher.
Nice.
We always need
Thank you.
substitutes. Work out a deal.
Yeah.
Who is that? What's his name?
Are there any more questions on the consensus agenda? Does anyone have any
No,
questions?
Ron?
Okay, all in favor? All right, thank you. All right, now we have presentations. We have the independent auditor's report, and it's going to be delivered by Patty Brennan.
Yeah.
Where is she? There she is. You look familiar.
Yeah, thank you. I'm here to present to the Board of Education the fiscal year 2022 financial statements. You have a copy with you. You will notice we issued 2 opinions in this report. One opinion is on the basic financial statements. The second opinion is on the extra classroom activity fund. Both opinions are unmodified. Those opinions are located on page 1 for your basic financial statements and on page 55 for the extra classroom. Extra classroom does reside towards the back end of those financial statements. Would like to note that the report of internal control over financial reporting and compliance is on page 53. This report is a report on if there's any significant deficiency, material weaknesses, or non-compliance. In our audit, we had noted none. There are no significant deficiencies, there are no material weaknesses noted, or non-compliance that rises to the need to be reported to the Board of Education. Also, in this financial statement, an important factor in here is your entity-wide financial statements. Those items are on page 4 and 5. Those represent items that are not carried on your fund basis. These are the larger numbers that represent long-term items that are not on the fund basis. The fund basis are on your page 4 and 5. Those are your general fund, your school lunch fund, your debt service fund, your capital projects fund. But your large long-term numbers sit on that entity-wide financial statement, and the largest being your other post-employment benefits number. That liability payable is a significant number. You can look at that at page 4. It's going to be in the liability section. Roughly about 83 million. For all school districts, this is a very large number due to the nature of this other post-employment benefit liability. It does not get recorded on your fund basis.
Is that the 100?
It is the 83. Another item you may notice is a significant change in your ERS and TRS pension reporting systems. This is a proportionate share of all of New York State's pension retirement system. This is Taconic's share of that. It has switched from prior years from being a liability to both ERS and TRS systems being an asset. That does switch with, as you can imagine, with the investments of that plan shifting and changing. But this is the district proportionate share that's being reported on your page 4. You can see it under your deferred also. Look on page 4. On your notes, in the notes of the financial statements, it does discuss other items and information in further detail that are on these statement pages. I would like to bring to your attention on page 11. On page 11, that is your restricted reserves that are set aside by school district, and they may only be used for those designated purposes. I'd also like to bring to your attention your long-term debt footnote, which is on page 32. This footnote are those long-term items that are not reported on your fund basis, but again, reported under entity-wide. Those are the highlights of your financial statements. You're always available to discuss further in detail your financial statements. If you do have questions regarding financial statements, feel free to please run them through perhaps the business office, and they can funnel them to us as they come through. Or if you feel it's a question you want to reach out directly to us, we're always open to the inquiries. You can reach us, RBT CPAs. Sybil, I'm sure, will share my email. I'd be glad to answer your questions, or even a phone call. I will in. Are there any questions for this evening?
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
Now we have the next up is the elementary school auditors visit. Beth?
My name is Beth Flores. For people that don't know me, I'm a literacy coach in the elementary, and I also oversee our library. And one of my passions is that I like to be able to provide experiences for our students that they may not get on their own. And one of the ways that we do this is that we bring authors into our building. So I'm here because I am trying to schedule an author for next year, which means that I may need some financial support with that from the board. Before I dive into that, I just, Dr. Howard is playing, I think you can loop it, or you just.
I'm just clicking.
Okay.
Is
So
there a way to loop it?
in the past, there is a way, if you go to present, you go down to the bottom where the page numbers, hit slideshow up on the top. Present.
This slide?
Slideshow, all the way over to the right where it says share, but it says slideshow.
Keep going. All the way up. There you go.
And then on the bottom, you go to the left, yep, you see 3 dots. And then you just autoplay and then
All the way
hit
up.
loop. And go to play up on the top.
Oops.
Too fast.
And then you can go all the way to the top and hit play, and it will just do it automatically. So before I get into the author that I would like to bring in next year, this kind of just gives a visual of what we do here at Taconic Hills when we bring an author in. It's not just a visitor coming to our building, it becomes a community and school-wide event with every department involved. So we could have, you see the chicken, I'm sure you just saw that one really quickly. That was a mechanical chicken that our art department, our tech department, John Dodds, Nick Smith, all came together and gave us this mechanical chicken. And Mary, were you the voice? Were you the voice of the chicken?
No, I was not. I think I was still in high school.
Oh, okay. One of our principals was the voice of the chicken, so that when the students were entering the assembly, they were being spoken to by the chicken as the arms were flapping. This also became a senior prank.
Oh, I think I was the voice.
I think you were the
Yeah, I
voice of
was
the
the
chicken.
I didn't forget that you were the voice of
I
the
don't know.
chicken. I don't know.
You blocked it.
How many voices are there?
Not a title, you're really good voices going on. You know, when we have our PE teachers that get involved, we do a culminating activity at the end of the day. Dr. Howard, I'm sure this was your favorite when we did the bathtub races with our visitor Alan Katz. He shaved his head at me. We bring in technology of 3D printing. I asked John Dodds one time, I was like, hey, you know, I'd really love to have holograms, you know, that was 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Yeah, a long time ago. And, you know, he's working with Nick, and then they have Ryan involved, and they came up with it. And then I was like, well, can we have an animated cat in a hat interacting with Mr. Willisane? And then he got high school students, and they put little sensors on their faces, and they were able to project and animate a cat in a hat so that they had a conversation going back and forth, all with the students. They're all involved in it. We had teachers and some of our administration do a flash mob when Dan Gutman came to visit us. When we got on stage, that thing plays all the time from what I hear. Thank goodness I was in the back on that one. So you can see it's not just somebody coming into our building. It's music, it's art, it's tech, it's everyone comes together. They really do. And everybody comes together, so those students have an experience that they won't forget.
So we asked Ms. Flores to come give a short presentation because this author that we're trying to schedule is a significant amount of money, and we will make it a budget item for next year. So that's why we're talking about this now.
Do we need to know the amount or
$6,000.
one day?
Well, it's for one day, but there's a lot of pre and post follow-up to it.
And to what Beth was saying, what I love is that the whole entire school gets involved in this, like the support staff, teacher, I mean, just everyone in the whole school. For me, I love that. That's what school community is.
I agree. The person that I want to bring in is Jared Krasowski. He not only is engaging and amazing with students, but he is with adults as well. So my vision for him is much more than what we've even had in the past, because he's done TED Talks. He's written graphic novels that are memoirs. He has a background that is not a traditional type of background it's just a lot of our students would be able to connect with. And we have a facility here that we could bring people into it. I see that as part of this vision too. We have neighboring school districts with children. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities that could surround him. He is a very well-known author. He does animations. He's done Snoopy. I have on there, if Dr. Howard, you could share the PowerPoint, his website is on one of the last slides. And I sent some of our administration one of his TED Talks. And he said on his TED Talk that Jack Gantos came to his school, which is an author. And he walked up and down the classroom, saw his picture and said, "Nice cat." That year he wrote a children's book. And he said, it changed my life. If we can do that for one of our students, I mean, it's amazing what can happen.
Yeah.
And we have an author coming in at the end of this month. I think some of you have gotten Goblins.
Yeah.
Goblins.
I got so much stuff here. It's like, whoa.
But, in our elementary, in honor of her coming, people are gobbling each other, which is paying it forward. So if, and that's their, and the artist that's coming in, Jacqueline Rogers, she did that sketch for us. So she just sent it to us, and they do a lot for us. I mean, we do a lot for them, but they do a lot for us. Did anything?
No, those
Oh,
pumpkins were made by the
These?
the elementary school students.
No,
the one that,
yeah,
yes,
those are a 3D
3D
printer.
printer. No, not that one. Yes, that one.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We got two
And they-
pumpkins up here.
They should have, I believe they signed your goblin as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot
We
of our
just
kids
wanted-
that came through the library.
We just wanted to thank you for all of your hard work.
And
No,
the
it's a
candy.
Different one. The green one is what
This
she's
is the
talking
goblin.
about.
She drew that for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This has my name on it too.
So I emailed her and I said, Molly, I said, hey, we're doing this, pay it forward. I explained the game. And I said, would you send one of your sketches? Or I said, or do you mind if I copy one from your book? Within an hour, she sent a sketch. I sent it to Darby. Yeah.
And the author that you want to bring in this spring or next
Jared,
year?
yep.
Jared, what's the first name?
Krasowski.
This is almost-
It's a hard, it's right there. I had to listen to him say it a few times, so I wouldn't mess it up. But he has, so I'm looking for him to come in next November 3rd. And the reason that we're speaking to you this quickly, I mean, we do have time, he does book up. He is a very well-known author, and I will look to try to do funding in other ways. I will write grants. Our PTO, it dissolved for a few years there. They haven't been able to fundraise. They were a big supporter of ours in these endeavors, but they don't have the financial means right now. And in order for us to book and commit to him, that's why I'm coming here to see if I could have the financial support, but it doesn't mean I won't try to do other avenues as well.
There's chance on the children.
So does he require a deposit or something to book?
See, we're going to work with his management and see what we can do. Because whenever our external auditor left, but whenever you cross budget years is when you tend to have questions. So we want to make it as clear as possible. And the way to do that is to put it on as a budget initiative to pay for. Anything else about?
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. for
Thank
bringing
you. I need a motion to go into executive session, contracts negotiations and employment history of a particular person. Motion, Joe, second, Kevin. All right.
So if pickleball people want to stay, they can,
All in
otherwise.
favor,
this is
sorry.
time for
All in
our-
favor? Diane, all in favor? Sorry about that.
Okay, just want to acknowledge that this week is Board Appreciation Week. I want you to be aware that the calendar is in front of you, the district calendar. And there's a lanyard, there's a magnet, a notepad, and then of course Mrs. Kipnis for the past couple of years has done an art project for us. And that's the little witch pumpkin there for you.
So cute.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my Halloween decoration, my only one in my house.
I just want to remind the board that the conference day is coming up this Friday. And also in front of you, I put the agenda along with the muffin mixer that Sandra. Okay. The 26th of October, the health department for Columbia County has come out and we're doing the flu and COVID vaccine clinic here. Folks are able to pick those forms up at the district office tomorrow. We did upgrade our COVID PCR machines. John Dodds helped with that. So we're now on to COVID test 2.0 that we provide at no cost to our faculty and staff. Most of that is used to confirm an antigen test that they do. Okay. We received hospital grade air filters for the nurse's office and those have been installed. So that's an extra added layer. We are still working with ASCD and Dr. Grant Chandler. We'll be having some more meetings on that coming up shortly.
Yeah, can I ask something? Do you think Grant would come and like even just come to a board meeting? I mean, I know he does a lot of Zooming, but
Yeah.
maybe sometime during, I know he's here for a while, so.
Let me see if we can work that into a schedule.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
We're going to be meeting with Hawthorne Valley in a relocation meeting. They would like to use us as a reunification place if they ever have to leave their campus in an emergency. November 9th, we're having our county-wide emergency drill here with Columbia County Emergency Management, all the police, all the different first responders. And so there'll be no after-school activities on the 9th as we move forward with that practice. Friday, we're going to, a couple of us, Bonnie, myself, Terry, are going to Columbia Green Community College to meet with a group called Skilling the Gap to help decide how to spend some grant money and moving forward on some skills and trades. It's a very interesting group. John Williams is going to be there. He's the president and CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. We have Adam Bosch, president and CEO of the Hudson Patterns for Progress. The moderator is going to be Dr. Trummer, the president of the college. Our own Dr. Cruz from Questar is going to be there. Tammy Dillon, the executive director of Hudson Hall. Christopher Nardone, the director of the Columbia Green Workforce. And then Jackie Salvatore, the undersheriff, is going to be there as well. So that's going to be pretty much a day-long meeting this Friday. So lots to talk about. Taconic Hills has been invited to participate in the domestic terrorism plan development group for Columbia County. And we're doing that as well. I can't share too much of that information at this time. On the 3rd of November, we were lucky enough to secure through Questar a meeting with Education Commissioner Rosa and we'll be spending the morning with her.
Where, here?
No, up at the State Education Department and all. Okay,
I was gonna say, oh.
no, you don't, that's a, we'll take care of that. We also have some awards. New York State School Board's Achievement Award to Heidi Beneke for courses she took totaling 75 points. Terry Sullivan, who's got an award for 250 points, and then gets a nice little school board binder. Right.
Yeah, really.
What smells?
I believe that's it for me, except to recognition of Bill Arp is retired and resigning and will be leaving the area, and we will miss him greatly. And we did not get a plaque in time for him, but I'm sure he's around a few more weeks, and then we're going to.
Are you actually leaving then, or? I'm gonna get you a plaque. Maybe I could drive it down there.
So later on, in the board meeting, there are additional items to discuss. The board is going to be talking a little bit, how to fill his seat. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Neil. So next we have the board activity report. I have a lot of stuff to say, so I'll give somebody else an opportunity. Well, actually, I'll start so that you'll all kind of know what I'm looking for. So we went to open house, me, Molly, Kevin. Is anyone else there? I know you three go on one side. You were there. You were? No, sorry. It's a while ago, I'm sorry. But it was nice. I liked it. I liked coming back into the school and seeing everybody again. We used to do that years ago, and then COVID hit and COVID ruined everything. We did the open house. Did I say open house? Oh, yeah, sorry. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking the teachers coming back. That's what I was thinking, but that was that. There was a bus rodeo, and there were 2 weeks that it was 2 Fridays, and I did the first Friday, and Bobby Joe kept trying to get me to drive the bus, but Darby drove and she did an amazing job. And I was a passenger, and I said, no, I'm just gonna ride. So it looked like fun. Did you have fun driving the bus?
Oh, yes.
It looked too scary for me. She's like, oh, it's nothing. Yeah, no.
Have you ever done that before?
No.
Really?
And quite a few people did it. The second week, more people did it, right?
I drive a big car. So it was easy.
Let's see. I went to a modified football game, took some pictures there. It was fun. It's been a while since I've been at a sporting event because after the Booster Club, I was kind of like, but it was nice going in and seeing the kids play. I attended, which Lisa talked about, is I attended the professional development content coordinator meeting where they talked, Grant Chandler was involved in that with the Zoom call. So what I liked was the collaboration, and I know you all have a copy of this. This is a lot of stuff that they're going to do. So it's a lot of fun stuff in there because I wanted to make sure there was some fun in there. But they all really came up with some really great ideas. They even requested that Terry teach some Zumba, and
Is that happening, by the way?
I don't know.
What time?
I have you at 2 to 3:10. I did send that email earlier.
Okay,
So if you didn't get it, let me know.
okay. I haven't checked my email. yet. What? Yeah, he's, yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna dance, yeah. Oh, it's gonna be fun. I put my playlist together and it's gonna be great.
And
Then where's the defibrillator?
Joe is teaching CPR that morning. so-
Okay, good. There you go.
And Beth Flores is every Monday, she's looking for people to come read. So I did come the first Monday of October, and it was fun. I went to a kindergarten class. They were so cute. I mean, so cute.
I think I signed up for Halloween.
Yeah.
Is there, and yeah, I didn't get.
I think it's actually the first Monday of November.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Okay, I thought it was October.
No, we did the October one. The mystery reader for November is the first Monday.
Okay.
So it's only one Monday a month?
Yeah, it's the first Monday.
Oh, I
of
thought
the
it was
month.
every Monday.
No, it's the first Monday of the month.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of different
I
time
read that
slots, like
one.
all day long, so.
Yeah, I saw
just
that.
pick one.
only been from one.
Yes,
Just October.
there'll be one in November.
The sign out has gone out and I believe Neil can forward it on to you.
Okay.
Or if this month hasn't gone out yet, it will be coming out and we'll give it, make sure Neil gets it. and
Yes,
forward
thanks.
it out.
So there's multiple readers throughout the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, different grades.
Okay.
All different teachers sign up, different times that they have available, so you can do a pre-K class.
You need the 12th graders too?
No.
Through
Pre-K
sixth
through
grade.
sixth. Pre-K through 6.
So the first November is the first Monday.
There's one other thing for me that I want to talk about, and that's the resolution, the NISBA meeting. So if you look through it quick, I kind of starred, the things that were just starred were things that were kind of important to us as a school district, like the tax cap levy formula. That meeting went from 4 o'clock until 8:10. Now, Joe normally does this meeting, but Joe for some reason couldn't do it, and I had to do it. I was 4 hours of Zoom meeting. I was like, anyway, the ones that are starred with circles around them, those are resolutions that Terry wrote and we submitted on behalf of Chicana Hills. All of them passed. There was, and actually the first one you see, it says it was amended. So they wanted to amend it so that it said, I think they added with the right to negotiate, I think is what they added in that. Which I thought was important. We should be at the table in the pilot programs. We definitely should have a seat there. If tax money is going to be taken away from us, we should definitely have a say.
The career and technical was approved.
It was, yeah. Yeah. There were 3 things that weren't, they didn't show them here. I thought they would show me that, but there were 3 that were not adopted. One of them, I think, was the training for police officers to give them extra training to be in the school district. I think the other one was the gun laws. No one wanted school districts involved with the, legislation for gun laws, and I forgot what the third one was, but, they all kind of made sense to me.
Was
As
the
far as,
healthcare one?
oh, that one too. Yeah, that was the one that was defeated as well, correct? Yes. Okay, that's all I got. Who else got something?
I went to the soccer game,
Oh, for Dean Atwood, right?
Yes, I did. And that was wonderful, and the dedication was amazing. And I wound up sitting next to 4 teachers, which I didn't know who they were, and they didn't know who I was. And somebody offered to dry my seat because it was raining that night. And it turns out it was Lane.
Oh,
And they were wonderful. They were absolutely wonderful. And the dedication ceremony was extremely heartfelt, and there wasn't a dry eye now. Yeah.
Joe, you got anything?
Yeah, on the 19th, I attended the varsity girls volleyball. And I forgot how much I really enjoy volleyball and made me want to play again. And then I shot over to the varsity girls soccer game. And on the 20th, I went to the boys soccer game. And on the 21st, I went to girls modified field hockey, which was really nice to watch. And then I went to homecoming.
Nice. Anybody else?
I actually went to Dean's
Oh, yeah,
celebration.
that's right.
Yes, we saw each other, which was awesome. Alicia and I came to school and painted some goblins for the author visit with Miss Kipnis, which came out pretty cute.
Yeah, she's very talented.
And I try to go to the modified football games as much as I can. I think they're there 4-0.
I'll tell you what, they did. It was like 56-0 the game I went to. It's like, wow. Very well.
I've been to the modified field hockey games. I saw Joe at one and they've gotten much better. They're really improving. And the Goblins, I worked the concession stand at homecoming.
How was that?
Very busy. It was very busy.
I do not miss those days.
Yeah, I enjoyed it though. It was good to see everyone. And I went with Bonnie to read to the kindergartners. That was
She was my moral support.
Can I just add one comment at the soccer game that we went to? I wound up talking to my neighbor whose son is very involved with the Shakespeare program, and she absolutely raved about it. She was so thrilled and such good feedback, and I hadn't really heard, about some of the programs here, but she said it was absolutely incredible program, and she was so happy her son was involved. And it was really a good offering from the school, so I just wanted to mention that. We had quite a long conversation. This is my neighbor, lives across the street. Haven't spoken to her that much in ages, but very good things. to
Anyone
say.
else have anything to share?
With the homecoming, and we also did the tour around the school.
Oh, yeah.
Anything going on with the tour that's?
The game plan is to have the original Terrazzo contractor come back and make that repair in that location. We need to try to time it with maybe Thanksgiving break because we're gonna have about a week's worth of work there. So we do some nights at the beginning of the week and then maybe we can finish it up. So
Flaw in that area or?
it's the only place where we've seen that happen on any of that new epoxy terrazzo, and I'm hoping it stays that way. But yeah, I just think it's a flaw. There was something with the adhesion there.
Is it bad?
We saw, other things too. That we addressed also. Other things.
Okay, that it? Okay, now we have the building reports. We have pre-K elementary school, Mary D'Amico. Hi, Mary.
Good evening. I just wanted to reiterate what Beth said by inviting you all to the author's visit, which is Friday, October 28th. Preparing for the visit has been an interdisciplinary effort, and we have been helped greatly by B&G and IT. So thank you, Nick and John, for your help. And I just wanted to publicly thank Beth for all of her hard work in pulling this together. She's an amazing person. I also would like to invite you all to join us on Saturday from 10 to 12 for the pumpkin run. There's going to be running, face painting, temporary tattoos. I don't know why they're temporary. I don't know why they just and pumpkin bowling. We currently have 252 students registered to attend, and we are in desperate need of volunteers. So if you want to volunteer and you show up at 9:30, I can find something for you to do. And as you know, to date, we've been unable to obtain a leave replacement for the elementary school psychologist. So as a result, the counseling staff have gone above and beyond. They have just done a tremendous job filling that void. And I just wanted to publicly recognize and thank them for keeping the best interest of our students in mind. And that's it.
Thanks.
What time is the
All day.
I think it starts with chocolate pancakes.
Yep, it does. So bring your appetite.
Yeah, some of us are gonna be at the New York State Convention.
Yeah.
And you're gonna miss the Green Goblin pancakes.
You're gonna miss our dancing.
That's right, we're dancing.
And Mary and I can really bust a move.
We've been working at it.
Well, you'll have to video it.
No, I don't think so.
Live performance only.
Little cell video. I'm sure we'll enjoy that.
All right. Next up is the high school. Lisa, there's Fred reporting, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna report for Lisa. I'm gonna stay seated though, but I'm staying here. So homecoming week occurred. It was, I think it was a good success. We saw a lot of buy-in. I believe it was the 7th and 11th grade that won the sort of the Spirit Week competitions. Lisa and I we did the bonfire. She took the homecoming game. I ref the powder puff game. I'm not a football ref. For the record, I know about 3 calls. I watch it every week. It's amazing that I don't know more than that, but slightly embarrassing to tell you the truth. Positive student engagement. So we've really been working on trying to get the kids to engage in sort of the environment of the school. Fred Yeager and I were just talking in the hallway. Today felt like a real normal school day, which was really good. I think it shows that the kids are starting to identify with Lisa and I, that they're buying into sort of what we're promoting. we're seeing a lot fewer referrals come through in general. And I think you guys will be pleased with how it's shaping up.
That's good news.
The principal committee that Lisa does with the students has met a few times. I'm not part of that, but I know that it goes along with that whole sort of like changing the culture and improving the culture for the students. We really both believe that the kids need to have a voice in what their environment is like and what their day is like in order for them to really believe that they can be successful. Observations have begun and so have the team meetings for collaboration. The blood drive was held. I know that I tried to convince them to take 8 pints from one student, but they were not willing. So they had to spread some of that out a little bit. And then Lisa and I both read at the October mystery read. So trying to get all of the school spirit. It's an easy place to buy into. And it's a busy first couple of weeks, but now it's really getting a lot more fun. So from an administrative perspective.
Thank you, Fred. We have next up Sandra.
So good evening. As Neil said, you have your schedule in front of you. That's been our big emphasis over the last few weeks is preparing for that. I'd like to personally thank a couple of people that have done some things behind the scenes. Sybil worked with me to up our letters participation, so we could do as many as 40. We budgeted for 20 because that's what the interest was last spring. But it's caught on so well, we could go up to the 40. So she really helped in getting the additional 20 spots and getting those materials in place. And they are all here and ready for candidates. So that's I think a wonderful thing when you do a PD that you try the first year and you double the level of interest in it by the second year. So many teachers are realizing what it's doing for their instruction practices in the classroom. And I hope that you can present on that at some point in a workshop.
Actually, I would like that. Actually.
Yeah, and
That would be
I
great.
want a few key players in that, including our literacy coach, Kristen Phillips, who's been instrumental in making sure that things go well for that PD. Also, Fred here behind me, we had cancellation, and he is planning for over 2 hours of support for AIDS, and he's pulling that together at the last minute on top of everything else he does. So it really has been a team effort to prepare for this day, and I'm hoping it'll go very well. We do have FFA convention nationally coming up next week, and Caden Klein has been invited on stage for his agri-science, so he is a finalist. And
he's a great speaker.
Oh,
He's gonna
he
be
is.
great.
He is. And it's a big accomplishment to be able to be on that national FFA stage. And Hunter will receive his American degree on Saturday, so you can look at both those things online. And I
Nice.
do believe there's live presentations, so you want to see those Friday morning at 8 o'clock, Saturday morning at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Was it? It's online.
Yes,
Okay.
and if you want, I can find the links and stuff for you. Just send me an email.
Thanks, Sandra.
Thank you.
We have next up the business office in Howard.
You may recall during budget season last year when we were faced with a potential 56% price increase in our prescription drug prices. At that point, we worked with the Health Insurance Trust to introduce a stopgap measure called Prudent RX, which was a rebate program that CVS Caremark was worked with to make those specialty medications be cheaper for our members. We have about 25 members, both active and retired, that are taking specialty medications. So I just wanted to report to you that, that was a cooperation between the district administration, the bargaining units, working together, and to see that this was a really good plan for all of us. We were the only school in the Rensselaer, Columbia, and Greene County region to join Prudent RX and take advantage of those savings. The only school. district. So we were invited today to the RCG stakeholder meeting held at Quest Rec 3 to present on our experience with that program. And then we had a nice little highlight because the trust presented data to us about the first 3 months of usage for under Prudent RX. And so in the first 3 months of the fiscal year.
This was our numbers.
Correct. This is
Okay.
just for Taconic Hills. We have spent $558,000 on specialty medications. Keeping in mind that's for about 25 people. But the savings due to Prudent RX was about $100,000 just in that first 3 months with those
Wow.
additional rebates. So that'll continue to build and to help. But the other great bonus for the members who are on these specialty drugs, they would have paid a $40, $80 copay. Under Prudent RX, they pay a $0 copay.
Wow.
So
Really?
yes, that's a benefit to them. So
Wow.
the trust was looking to us to try and help other districts move the needle a little bit and say, you know, this isn't too good to be true. It's real. These
Has there been
savings-
any complaints from any of our staff that have, used it in?
There have been some bumps.
Okay.
And Benetech is our third-party administrator, and we usually refer folks right to Benetech, and because Benetech is responsible for working with Prudent RX and CVS Caremark. So certainly there have been some bumps, but
Yeah.
they reported today that, compared with the other municipalities and school districts they work with around the nation, very, very few issues.
When you say bumps, are you talking about administratively
Yes.
bumps or quality of the
So there was
the
an individual,
medication or generic or whatever?
there was an individual who was voted wrong.
Oh, okay.
So there's an interfacing process that occurs with Prudent RX contacting the member, getting some information. And I think all of that just, hadn't been processed yet.
So there's always some, whenever you have
So there wasn't
change.
quality in terms of the
Correct.
medication.
Right,
or
everyone still has
the-
access to their medications, and there are always changes to the formularies, which we do not control.
Right.
So CVS Caremark controls that, and that information needs to come from doctors to patients and pharmacies to patients. It's because we don't have that bottom level data about who's taking what. We don't have access to that information.
Thank you.
So it's good news.
That is good news, actually. It is. That's it, Sybil?
Yes.
Okay. Next is Henry. Hi, Henry.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
So first thing is that we have a new person. Her name is Amy McIntyre. She's in our office. She replaced Chickwasia Austin, and she is our CPSC at Section 504 Administrative Assistant. She's settling in nicely with Melissa and I. We've had a lot of transfer intake meetings, a lot of reevaluations, a lot of 504s, initial determinations, as well as annual reviews. So we've had a lot of meetings so far, even in the beginning of the school year. We've had our second PPS Academy, which was yesterday, and that was on planning ahead for academic success. We have one for November, which is on the 22nd, about keeping special education records and about assessments. So stay tuned for that Zoom link. We were chosen as a district to complete what are known as Indicator 3 surveys, which is an indicator about parent participation in special education. So each special education family, after they have their annual reviews, will receive a survey that they have to fill out, which talks about their participation in the special education process. We are part of our content coordinator meetings, pre-K through 12, is going to talk about how we can use NWEA and have kids create their own SMART goals so that they have an ownership in taking these quarterly assessments, especially our students with disabilities. And we also have our Quest, our special education consultant, who's going to walk us through that process. And we had our first student progress report meetings after 5 weeks with to talk about our 9 through 12 students and just to go over each one of our students who was classified with special education, talking about their successes, their challenges, and how we can kind of work together as a group of special education teachers and other providers to ensure their success in high school. And then also had a lot of discussions about Access VR, which is a wonderful program that's run by the state, which offers a lot of opportunities for students who have IEPs and 504s.
Thanks, Henry.
You're welcome.
Next up, Nick.
We've started the process of the building condition survey with our architect, SCI Design. That building condition survey will help us to develop our 5-year capital improvement plan, and then that plan drives all of our capital projects moving forward. So that's where all of our projects are basically born from. So we're in the process of doing that. It's a pretty extensive process. They come in and they go through and they check every room, they check all of our mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, conditions of roofs and doors and things like that. So it's ongoing and we'll be doing that for a little while. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was I wanted to thank you for the appointment of our new cleaner custodian, Anel. I don't know if you know this, but this is the first time since last school year, due to circumstances beyond our control, that we've actually been fully staffed in our cleaner custodial department. So this is like the first time we have a 100% roster, so that's awesome. I'm super excited about that. And since last year, everybody that's been here has really been putting in the extra, picking up the slack, doing whatever they can do to make sure things get done. And I haven't heard a single complaint about it. So
Okay, next up, transportation. Bobby Joe. Hi, Bobby Joe.
Hi there. So as Bonnie brought up earlier, we had our bus rodeo on the 23rd and the 30th. So we had about 5 people on the 23rd and 6 on the 30th. It was a lot of fun. It was exciting. I think everybody.
Mary, try.
Mary,
I just wasn't there.
right. It was definitely fun. And Neil actually finished out on the 30th. He was my last contestant, but I couldn't have done it without John. It was really exciting for me to have people who have never like really driven or gotten in and nervous, you know. And it was much easier. Bonnie, I couldn't convince her, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't convince her that it really wasn't that hard. I said, we can even just drive up the bus lane.
Why do you think I never became a UPS driver? For that reason.
But it was exciting, and John was very instrumental in helping me, as he still holds a CDL and won't drive mornings or afternoons for me. We've been managing, we've had some absenteeism and some short staffed, and one of our bus drivers just retired, got a new grandbaby, wants to spend some more time at home, and so anybody who's looking to substitute bus drive, I mean, mornings, afternoons, we can always fit you in.
Once my husband retires,
you're kicking them out to the, sure, send them on down. Other than that, things are going pretty smoothly. I knocked on some wood somewhere. That's all I have for you.
Great, thanks, Bobby Joe. John, speaking of the guy, there he is. Hi, John.
Good evening. I guess Nick's the only one that's got a full staff on the board. Mrs. Regina was here earlier. We're very proud of her and happy to see her advancing herself. So I have an empty space now, looking to fill it. We do have a student who comes in every other day for a couple hours. So that's what we got, and we're moving on, and things are moving. So just want to be here to support. And I think, Mr. Arp, if you want to read a book, it's very worthwhile. I even do it. Okay, so it's doable. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you, John. And Pam is not here, but she did leave us some delicious beef vegetable soup. And I don't know, what's in that container there?
Rolls.
Oh, rolls. And then Annie made her famous cupcakes.
Oh,
yeah. All right, so on to new business, or we have no old business at this time. We have new business. So we have approval of the 2022, 2023 district goals. So these goals were formed or based on our workshop. Sandra and her team went back and they developed these goals. I thought they fit perfectly for what we're trying to do going forward. So I need a motion. Kevin, second. Alicia? Any questions?
Vibrant learning. Vibrant learning.
Vibrant learning. All right, next we have the repair reserve. Oh, wait, yeah, repair reserve authorization. So that is what Nick was talking about in the public session. So I need a motion for that. Motion, Alicia, second. Bill, any questions? All in favor? Next is the approval of financial statements that was presented to us by our accountants. Can I have a motion, please? Joe, second. Kevin? Any questions? All in favor? And we have approval of Chicon Hill Central School District Building Level School Emergency Response and District-wide Safety Plans for 2022-2023 school year. Motion? Alicia, second. Terry? Any questions? All in favor? Okay. All right, in front of you on your table that I left there somewhere, there is a copy of policy 4741. So we're doing a first and second read tonight, and that's why I wanted it printed out, so in case you did not read your packet, you could read it now. So the reason that we're doing a first and second read, this is a policy that we were trying to, the board last year wanted this policy put in place. There was some dragging of the feet, and now it has come to us again. And this is, it's first and second read tonight. Normally we wouldn't do that, but we want to put this in place. So can I have a motion, please? Kevin, second. Joe, any questions on this policy?
Are we approving this policy now?
Yes. You can read it.
What's that?
You
Oh, I just got, my concern is, what happens to a student when they transfer beyond their control into the school district? Who's
That's a good question.
a straight A student, you know.
2 years you have to be there.
Right, but let's say that it's out of their control. Let's say there's something going on with their family, or they have to be separated from their family for some reason or whatever. Is that going to penalize them for?
They're coming, you're talking about coming to the district.
Right, they're being placed here in the district beyond their control of something, maybe that something happened at home and they have to be, it's like a CPS type situation or whatever. That they're, you know, they have to be taken out of the school district or from the parent or whatever the case may be.
Well, as long as they're here for 2 years, it doesn't matter.
Well, let's say they're midway through their junior year. They're
So-
placed there.
So I guess I'm not sure what you reference.
He's saying if they're only in district for
18 months.
18 months.
As far as the salutatorian or valedictorian, you're kind of out of luck. Okay, the requirement is 2 years.
What schools do the same thing?
Very, very similar. Some have it more. We decided at the time, probably 2012 maybe, that we will have 2 years.
Any other questions? All in favor? Thank you. Okay, we need a motion for the approval of the agreement with the Mental Health Association of Columbia Counties for school-based preventative services to at-risk children at the cost of $33,260 for the 2022-2023 school year. Motion. Terry, second. Molly, any questions? All in favor? Approval of the amendment to the agreement between Taconic Hill Central School District and Bus Guide Safety Services for transportation supervision services for 2022-2023 school year. Motion? Kevin, second. Heidi? I have a question. What is Bus Guide Safety Services?
It's Mr. B. Brock and the services he provides. To the district.
Haven't you seen his license plate on it?
No.
The bus guy.
That's like that bus guy.
That's hilarious.
Thank you for asking that question, by the way, because it took me a second to.
Bus guy.
Is he still an employee of the district?
He is a contract.
Contract.
It's a company he set up.
So this is his LLC. Okay.
And what does it entail? Will we be
19A services covering different situations that we are being unable to cover.
Any other questions?
What will happen if this district hires him on a substitute basis in the future? What should they do?
I guess we'd have to work that out. I guess one would have to be void, I mean, you can't do both, I mean, you have to do one or the other.
Right, because I know there was talk about.
Well, that makes sense. All in favor? Thank you. All right, need approval of the field trip to Shakespeare and Company in Lennox, Mass, for October 26th. Motion, Terry. Second, Heidi. Any questions? All in favor? Thank you. Authorization of the disposal of the following obsolete or surplus equipment and supplies. Motion, please. Kevin, second. Alicia. Any questions?
200 shares.
If you saw this, you would know why it needs to go.
Where's it going?
We actually probably saw them all on that tour. Everything.
You saw about 500 chairs. Empty, not used.
And these go on Auctions Internationals, correct?
If they have a value, otherwise do the junk.
Okay, gotcha. All in favor? All right, petty cash fund. So be it resolved, the Board of Education authorizes petty cash funds to be established for this district during the 2022-2023 fiscal year in accordance with education law as follows. Sorry, motion. Kevin, second. Bill, any questions? All in favor? Thank you. Next is the approval of the following donations. We have $75 to the, from the Columbia County Agricultural Society going to the high school art department. $330 from the Conic Hills Elementary PTO going to the Elementary Drama Club. Motion, please. Terry, second. Heidi. Any questions? All in favor? Okay. All right, we have the second public forum. Anybody for the second? Okay.
Pickleball, anyone? No.
Okay, so we have additional items to discuss. So we need 3 board member signatures to sign up on the uncollected taxes. They got to come in here on the 9th, Sybil?
That's the day.
Yeah. That's the.
We'll be closing the campus down at 3:30.
I won't be here. I'll be in Texas, so I won't be here. You're gonna come? So that's one. Who else?
What day of the week is that?
Wednesday.
Alicia said she'll come. That's 2.
What time?
Anytime.
Anytime before 3:30. Okay, I can.
So
Molly.
let's make it like 3 o'clock, folks, if possible.
So you got Molly, Alicia, and Kevin.
There's gonna be a lot of things going on.
Earlier than 3 o'clock.
That's what we're looking for.
I'll have Andy get in touch with you. Thank you.
The next we have the NISBA, or not NISBA, the National School Board Conference, which is April 1st through the 3rd. Is there any interest in going? I know that Heidi and Alicia and Joe have mentioned that they are interested. Is there anyone else that's interested?
Orlando.
It's April 1st through the 3rd. Yes, it's in Orlando. I'm gonna tell you what, you think this stuff is, well, this stuff is not vacation. This stuff is like.
Well, I do the delegate stuff, you'll understand.
Oh, please. That's 4 hours of my life I'll never get back, Lord. I'm so happy that Joe loves doing that. You have no idea. So does that it for the interest then? For going?
Yeah. Be interested. I would not.
All right, so in order to do that, we have to do a resolution tonight, to say that we're gonna go or whatever, we've got to vote on it, okay? So Sybil got some numbers here.
I think the numbers that you gave me were for about 4 individuals, and it runs about maybe $2,000 to $2,500 a piece.
participate that last year.
We do not. That's why we'd have to have a walk-on resolution.
So, here's my thoughts on this, is that professional development is important. It's not only important to our staff, it's important to this board. I was just talking to Kevin the other day. I mean, being voted on the board is more than just coming to a meeting once a month and voting. You have to participate. You have to participate in the community. You know, we have to learn things. We have to learn. There's so much that I don't know, and I'm still learning every day. And going to these conferences are an opportunity for that. It's our only opportunity for professional development. And so that's why I think it's important that we go, and anyone that wants to go, we should be able to go. Anyone else got any thoughts on that?
When I first started on the board, I had no idea what I was getting into. So after 3 years, I went to my first conference. And I came back like a little kid in the candy store. And
I remember
asked
that.
Neil, can we make it policy that's a requirement within the first 3 years that a board member goes? Because the knowledge you gain makes you a better board member. And an old friend of mine, Mr. Keegan, he was on the Hudson School Board. Neil's father was the superintendent there. And I talked a lot with him in my beginning. And he said that him and Neil's father's gone to San Diego to them. He said it's very important to go to these things to gain knowledge.
So what would be the difference between, because some of us are going next week to the state convention, the NISBA convention, and the national, what are the issues? Are there any major differences?
More people.
Well, that you learn nationwide and what other schools are doing versus just one.
Yeah.
And, okay, I'm just asking, just.
Yeah.
And then you see what other
'Cause the
districts don't
states-
have
'cause
and
the-
how fortunate we are. That's what I saw.
Well, that's true.
When I went to
That's a good point.
conventions, you
That's
see
very
what
good.
these big schools in Long Island don't even come close to what we do. They're closing buildings, they're closing schools. We are way ahead.
Wouldn't you
of
learn that
so
at the,
many.
wouldn't you learn that at the state convention?
And you
In
learn it,
NISBA?
and you learn it more.
Well, you're
at the
learning
national-
about the state.
in the whole country.
It's more about the New York State and the
Right.
education laws of New York State.
Right.
I mean, we met some guy from Texas, and he was a school board member, and he was like, wasn't he a plumber or something?
Yeah.
And he's telling us that they dictate the curriculum. Like, I personally could not think, me personally dictating to these people here who are professionals, I can't even imagine that, like,
Right.
so it is eye-opening, and you get to meet and see what other.
Okay, I just wanted to throw that out there. I mean, I professionally, for me, I go to,
Right.
you know, professional
yes.
things, national and New York State things, and I just wanted to hear from your perspective.
Yeah.
What you felt what the value was.
All right, so, we'll do the resolution then. You guys do good with that? Right now, it's Joe, Heidi, Alicia, and myself. And do I do the resolution now, or do I? All right, let's do this. Well, let me do the one last additional items. The last thing is a resignation of Bill. So we need to find a replacement. I know I've talked to most of you and talked about bringing Ron back. He was the next highest vote getter in the last election, and that's how we've been doing it since I've been on the board. I know Kevin said they did it differently when he was on the board, but that's how I've always done it.
We did it differently.
Oh, the whole term. Oh, okay. So are you guys okay with me asking Ron to come back? To fill Bill's spot? And then the next thing we'll have to do is, vice president. We'll have to get a new vice president. Kevin has expressed some interest in that. So, what we'll do, not at this meeting, but at the next meeting, if you guys are okay with that. All right. All right, so that's what we'll do. So let me do this resolution. Then we'll go into executive. All right. I need a motion for be it resolved that the Board of Education of Taconic Hill Central School District hereby authorizes the attendance of the members of the board at the annual NISBA annual convention in Orlando, Florida on April 1st, 2023 to April 3rd, 2023, and authorizes the business office to encumber the funds necessary to secure registrations, lodging, and associated travel fees effective November 19th, 2022. Jeez. Motion?
Yeah.
Kevin, second. Heidi. All right. Any questions? All in favor? Thank you.
Can I see that?
Yes. Next, I need a motion to go into executive session. Find my paperwork here. Go into executive session for the, Taconic Hills Faculty Association Level 3 Appeal of the grievance 2023-2. Motion Heidi, second Alicia, all in favor. Thank you, Kevin.